So I want to talk to you for a minute about framing and composing. There are 6 different shots that you're going to be thinking about using while you're out composing with the camera. One is your wide angle shot, your medium, and your close-up shot. And then within that you can also employ a worm's eye view, a straight-on view, or a bird's eye view in some cases. I'm going to show you how these kind of fit into what we're talking about with composing and composition. So this would be a kind of a wide angle shot, maybe a medium shot, but more of a wide angle shot. You'll see what I mean in a minute. It's of a chair, a garden, it's in a landscape, obviously someone's backyard. There isn't exactly a very straightforward point of view or a subject matter that's really being isolated. However, when you move in a little bit, you take more of a medium shot, you understand this is about the chair, the lack of someone being in the chair. Maybe you wonder where the person is, but it's also about that coffee cup. And then same exact picture, just close up. Well, you might assume that the coffee cup is on a chair, but it's also could be on a railing or something like that, but it's really about the coffee cup. So as you move in, oftentimes you can become more specific in what your subject matter is. However, a moved out shot like this where you're in a medium shot can work just as well. You know it's about the coffee cup, but the more surroundings you show in the picture, the more there could be the potential for a narrative or for a story. So you just have to kind of figure out, am I trying to put the coffee cup into context with, say, a garden or the environment, or really is it just about that coffee cup knowing that it's outside? You need to decide what kind of context you're setting up for your work. So within that you also have bird's eye view, worm's eye view in this case, and straight on view. And these can create different types of dramatic effects, or in some cases take the drama out of something. I'll show you what I mean. So obviously this is a close-up view of a coffee cup at worm's eye view. Think of this is what a worm might see, or my dogs or something that are down on the ground looking up. Then you can pull it back, and there's still a little bit of drama in this, but there's something kind of really important about that coffee cup all of a sudden when you're looking up at it. From this angle. But down here certainly there is something as well, and like that medium shot, this is a medium shot that's at worm's eye view. You still understand that to be maybe a chair. Maybe if I incorporated a little bit more of the chair, you'd have some of that information in there, but it'd really be about that coffee cup being on the edge of the arm of the chair. And so that might be the point that I'm trying to convey here. Same thing here. This is a straight on shot at a medium. It's not close up and it's not far away. It's at a medium distance, but it kind of becomes less important all of a sudden. You could tell next to some of the other shots, it's really not that interesting, or not as interesting. But once again, when you zoom in, then you're really focusing on that cup. Maybe this one is the stability of the cup, on that big arm of the chair. And in this case, you don't know if it's full of coffee or not. I'll tell you it's not, because I drank the coffee prior to taking these pictures, but you don't know. And so that's part of what the image is about in this case. From up here, a zoomed out bird's eye view, looking down, pretend you're a bird looking down. You can see basically there's probably very little or no coffee in the cup. But if we zoom in, we see a little bit more. We see the remnants of the coffee. You don't notice that really from back here, because there's all this other stuff going on in the picture. There's the lawn, there's the chair, there's everything. When you zoom in here, you see, oh, okay, well maybe there's the remnants of a coffee, so somebody has been here and finished their coffee. It makes you wonder, leave something to be imagined, and maybe it'll get you to question, why am I supposed to be looking at this picture? Same thing, you could take a picture of your favorite pet. I love that, my favorite pet. Like I favor one pet over the other. I don't. I love all of my pets, but I wouldn't take a picture of this guy from this angle because this bird's eye view, sort of at a medium shot, kind of diminishes his coolness. My dog's very cool, and so if I go to a straight on shot at his level, straight on shot, and this is still a medium shot. This isn't a close-up. A close-up in this case might be too close-up. You don't want to get that close to him. You want to see him in his environment. This looks like a happy dog out in the yard on a sunny day. So this is where a straight-ahead, zoomed-out shot can really work to your advantage. And then you could take this medium angled shot, and that's my other dog in the background, and I've created this context where there are two happy dogs in the yard now, but I've given them more importance by placing myself below their level. I have to get really low on the ground and get them to sort of look up, and that has a totally different mood than this shot here. This is about you and your relationship to the dog. Here it's about those dogs and their relationship to the environment. You see a little more of the environment. And so it's really all about context. When you're picking the subject matter and you're composing, think, hey, do I need to be zoomed all the way out to show sort of everything in this particular subject with all of that environment around it? Or do I need to zoom in and it's what's important about that subject needs to be viewed up for a close-up angle, sort of like the coffee cup, like I said earlier, with the dried-up remnants of the coffee in it. Here are some other examples. This is Citizen Kane, a famous movie from the 1940s. Orson Welles plays Charles Forster Kane, a newspaper tycoon. He's a man on the move, news on the march is the quote in the movie, and he is often filmed from the worm's eye view. It gives him sort of an authority, and you can see in this shot here, his head is here, and this man is looking up at him, and we're looking up at him as well. It gives him sort of the authority, the power, puts him in this authoritative pose. This movie is really well known for all of its beautifully composed shots. Every picture is almost, or every frame is almost like its own picture. Again, here's another sort of a worm's eye view. Everyone's looking up at him. There's a picture from behind him. This is about his rise to power. He falls apart, and the beginning of the movie is kind of prefaces what's going to happen. This is an old dying man who's sort of lost everything, and then they go through his life, how he's gotten to that point. There was a big rise and fall. So, this angle, we're looking up at him. He is all powerful. Of course, there's this sort of foreshadowing. This one scene here, same scene in the movie, more or less, but now we're looking down at him, and there's something sort of sad about this image. You understand this man knows something about what's going to happen, the fate of Kane. And so this bird's eye view, you get more of quote-unquote perspective. So you could see how one image holds a different type of power than the other. Okay, let's bring it back home, talking about something we are all familiar with here at UNL, Memorial Stadium. Now this is probably would be a mid to wide angle shot of the stadium, and it's straight on. It's neither bird's eye view nor worm's eye view. And it's impressive. The west side facade of the stadium is really pretty impressive. However, we could take probably another approach to sort of show the size and scale and maybe the intimidation factor of Memorial Stadium. One would be to get up in a helicopter or jet or airplane and look down at the stadium during game time. We've all seen these pictures. They're all around. And there's something really awesome about this. This is a wide-angle bird's eye view shot, so very appropriate for the subject matter. Now, if this were my dog or my coffee cup down in the field and there weren't all the people there and there weren't even a stadium there, it was just a big field, might not have the same impact. Do you see? So you have to pick your composition and you have to pick your angles appropriately. So this image was taken by someone in this class recently, and even though it's not a worm's eye view, this is actually a straight-on view. She was up in the parking garage across the street. You can see it still kind of has a worm's eye view effect because of the size of the building. And if you look at this, long enough, you understand that, hey, wait a minute, I'm not at street level. If you wanted to take this a step further, go down to the street and take a picture of that looking up. That's intimidating. If you had to walk up to this and play a game here, you're a visiting team. Of course, you're probably not going to walk in this entrance, but the idea really is that this is our home. This is our home field. This is important. This is our place. This is not your house. And this image says that. So pick worm's eye view, bird's eye view, straight on view, close up, middle range, or wide angle shot, and try and figure out exactly what's important about your subject.